Hello and welcome to the video lecture series brought to you by St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. My name is Ravinder. I am an assistant professor with ETCA department. And today, we are discussing the subject called Object Technologies and Programming. And today we're going to see the much hyped classes and objects and how to instantiate a class, how to instantiate an object, and how you can relate these two things with each other. Okay, so I will head you to the presentation directly. So as we have discussed earlier, class can be called as a blueprint. That is a blueprint what a task or what a particular let's say object is going to do. And in a particular class you are going to find the properties, you are going to find different methods, and all those methods and properties combinedly will be called a class or a blueprint. Now you cannot work with a blueprint alone. Okay, you have to make a prototype of that particular blueprint, and that prototype will actually be used to perform certain tasks which has already been described in the blueprint. So for taking about this example, so dog is a class which actually signifies few of the properties and few of the methods. So we have a dog breed, we have a dog size, we have a dog age, and we have a dog color. So based on these four properties, you can identify a particular dog, or you can differentiate a particular dog from other dog. Now this dog can perform some task. That is, it can eat, it can sleep, it can sit, and it can run. Now these four methods and these four properties will combinedly be called a blueprint for dog, or called a class. Now this particular class must be instantiated into an object. Now that object is actually an instance or an example of a dog which is entirely unique. Okay, so as we can see in this particular slide, we have three examples here. We have three instances of dog class. Now instances of dog class are actually called objects of dog class. So instance and objects are some of the times called interchangeably. Okay, so there's a dog class has three objects, or we have instantiated three objects. First is this particular black colored dog. uh, uh, the properties it has is its breed is actually Neapolitan Mastiff, size is large, age is 5 years, and color is black. Okay, the same dog class has another instance or an object instantiated with the properties as its breed is actually Maltese, its size is small, its age is 2 years, and its color is white. And similarly, we have a third instance of dog class. That is, its breed is Chow Chow, size is medium, age is 3 years, and color is brown. So as you can see, all of these three object instances, or the instances of class dog, have same properties. Same properties, they don't have same named properties, or I would say same named properties. Okay, which are actually the properties defined in the dog class. But the values that are associated with these properties are different. Okay, so all of the three dogs have same property called breed, size, age, and color. But the values that these objects are assigned, or these object properties are let's say assigned with, are different. So the age of first instance is actually 5, and the for second one it's 2, and for third one it's 3. Okay, so this is how you can realize the physical examples, or I would say not physical examples, but instances of your class dog. Okay, so what dog class has done is, in a very layman terms, it has shown you, or it has devised a plan, or not a plan but a blueprint, in which it has devised everything, that is what kind of properties a dog must have to identify itself, and what kind of methods that are defined for the dog, that is what it can do actually. Now all you have to do is take inspiration from that particular object and devise your own dog object, sorry, dog class, and you devise your own dog object. So we have created three instances of dog class, that is object 1, object 2, and object third. So this is how the relation between a class and its instance or object can be shown or can be thought of. Okay, so this is exactly how we are going to approach in Java. That is, first we are going to create a class called dog, and then we are going to create the object or instances of the dog class, and then we are going to will try to access the properties of each of those objects, and I will show you how the named properties are same, but the values assigned to that particular properties is actually different, and this is what make all these objects different from each other. They are actually of same blueprint of they are actually came from same inspiration, but they have something different. Okay, so this is how we're going to proceed. The first we'll try to create a class called dog. Okay, uh, and after that we'll try to create one, two, or three instances or objects of the dog, that is dog 1, dog 2, dog third, and dog 4. And all of these dog objects will have 3 or 4 properties, same named as breed, age, and color, and will have same behavior or methods to be accessed, called bark, sleep, and eat, or whatever you want to name it, doesn't matter. Okay, now next thing is, now we have seen what is the relation between an object and class. Now we have to see how to instantiate or how to create a class in actually in Java. Okay, how to do that in Java actually. Now to do that, we have to see the instance of this particular class. Now, okay, as if let me read out the slide first. That a class can be defined as a template or a blueprint that describes the behavior states that object of its type support. So in the previous case, dog is a class and object are these three, and these three have same properties and behavior as this dog class. Okay, so how we're going to describe a class in Java? We'll start with the keyword called class. And after a single space, we're going to start with name of the class. Okay. And if you want, you can add an access modifier to it. Now, access modifier we have already discussed in the abstraction and encapsulation lecture in the first unit. So access modifier will tell us or tell the compiler who else can access the code of this class or not. Okay, we have already discussed that. If you're not familiar with it, you can go back and watch that particular video. Okay, I highly recommend that, because these, now we have written here the pubic, but is going to be public. Please pardon me. Next, inside the curly braces, you're going to have uh, these class variables, that is properties, the declaration of class variables, and the declaration of methods in the class. Okay, and then after the semicolon, or sorry, your braces will end, then there will be no semicolon. Okay, so let me first show you how to make an object, make a class, and how to create its object, and how to use it in the IDE in real time. After that, we are going to see the difference between class and object. The last slide that we have left alone. You have to give me some time for this. Okay, so let me just remove this particular set here. Okay, so first I'm going to create a new class. Okay, Let me name it dog, as we have um, already seen its example. So there it is. This is the dog class. Now inside the dog class, let us define three properties, or three, what can I say? Three variables. Now properties are almost called as variables. So the first is, let's say, string and breed, and next one is going to be, let's say, int age, and what else is in there? Let us again, and we can have size, which is also going to be of type string, that is size, and that is it. So we have this class dog has three properties, that is breed, age, and size. Okay, now I'm going to define a method, that is, the method are normally called behavior of the class. Behavior because these are the task that this particular class can perform, or an object of this particular class can perform. So you can call its behavior. Okay, so let's get back to the slide again and see what kind of behavior we have. So let's try to uh, instantiate these two methods, that is eat and sleep. Okay, we're not going to elongate our code, so I will call it as public, and let's say void and eat. Okay, and let us add one more field, and that is name. Okay, so that is how we are going to, and inside this I'm going to add a line system.out.println, your basic console output function, and we're going to write that the, or let me add that name plus is actually is eating. That is it. So what it is going to do is, it's going to access the name field from here, and then it will add this particular string, that is, let's say the name is chow chow, then it's going to say that chow chow is eating. Okay, so this is how you define a method in. So let me first focus on the signature here. We haven't discussed how to declare a method. So this is your name of the method, that is eat, and you will have this brackets here. The brackets are called argument brackets. I think people are more than familiar until now, up till now, what are the argument brackets and what are arguments. So arguments are basically the data that this particular method requires to process what it is actually going to do. Okay, so it could be any data that you want. Okay, now this void is actually the data type that this particular method is going to return. Now this particular method is not returning anything, so I've written here void. If it is returning an integer value, I'm going to write here int, and this is your access modifier. We have already discussed that. So let me define one more method, that is, let's say sleep. So public void and sleep, and we don't need anything, and again system.out.println, and we're going to say the name plus is sleeping. Oops. I think we spelled the spelling, and that is it. So your basic dog class has been created with four fields called the name, the breed, the age, and the size, and it has two behavior, two methods with it, that is your eat and sleep. Okay, now we have to do is we have to make or create the instances of this class dog. So I'm going to create two instances of the dog class, that is not instance, or you can call it, I'm going to create two object of the class dog. So we're going to, now instances are normally created. In this case, basically, are going to be created in the main class. Okay, now it is not hard and fast rule. You can create the object of class, let's say any other class in the doc class. Okay, so how to create them? Now you're going to write like doc, and I will say dog1 is actually equal to new, and then dog, and that is it. So the object of class dog has been created, and with variable dog1 is actually representing or referencing to this particular object. Now and let me again devise one more object of class dog. So again dog is not equal to, is equal to dog2, and then new, and then dog, and that is it. Okay, now how you are going to use it? You can access the field and behavior methods of the dog class by using the reference to the object, that is dog1 and dog2. Okay, so now let's say dog1 dot name is equal to, let's say, Anthony. Okay, and again dog2 dot name is actually, let's say, very common name, let's say Simon. Okay, so what I have done here is the dog1 object of class dog has accessed its property called name, and the value that has been assigned to this particular object, property of object dog1 is Anthony. So the dog1 object uh, has a property called name, and it has been assigned with value Anthony. And similarly, a dog2 object has a property name, and it has been assigned with the value called Simon. Now what I am going to do, I am going to call the methods eat and sleep, okay, for both line, and then we will see whether these names are actually assigned to these objects or not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, it's a dog1 dot eat and dog2 dot eat, and then again dog1 dot next one is sleep, and dog2 dot sleep. Oops. Now what I'm trying to show you is, if these names are actually been assigned with these values, in that case when you're going to run this eat method and sleep method for dog1, and in this case also for dog1, in that case the the string that is should be printed is Anthony is eating and Anthony is sleeping. So as soon you have assigned this name property with the value, it has been automatically accessed by all the other behaviors or property if they are using that particular property or not. So this particular instance or example of dog class has its name property has been assigned with the name as on Anthony, and the other instance, that is other example of class dog, or instance or object of class dog, all are same thing. Example, instance and object are all mean one and the same thing, so don't get confused if I change if I use them interchangeably. Okay, don't get confused. So the second object, that is dog2, will have its name as Simon, and it should, if I call the method eat for that particular object, it is going to print Simon is eating and Simon is sleeping. Okay, so now all we have to do is we have to just save these classes. What has happened here? Nothing. Okay, let me try to run this main one. Oh, why it is running main? and we have to go to the console to see. Yeah, and there it is. Anthony is eating, Simon is eating. Anthony is sleeping, Simon is sleeping. So as soon as this particular object of class dog assigned its property name with Anthony, and this property name has been used by the method called eat. So the dog1.eat will actually use the property and use the name as Anthony, and dog2 will use its name as Simon. So as you can see that we have dog1 and dog2 are both of them are of type dog class, and both of them has used same method called eat and sleep, but both of them are printing actually different strings because both of them do actually have same blueprint, same template, but both of them are actually altogether different examples of same blueprint. They have nothing to do with each other. So what is happening there is they have made a copy of dog for themselves. That is, dog one has a copy of dog for itself, and dog two has a copy of dog for itself, and they will populate these properties, that is this name, breed, size and age, according to the values that you will assign, and they have no relation or no mix up. Okay, so when you call this method eat, in this case it is actually the method that has been used by the, or is actually the method that has been let's say declared in the copy for dog 1 and not for dog 2. So they have different copies of it, as if in very layman terms I'm saying that. Okay, so this is what is actually happening in the backend. Okay, now tomorrow we are going to see the constructors. That is, this assigning of the fields with values like this is very cumbersome. So there may be a shortcut, and that shortcut is actually called constructor. And tomorrow we are going to see the constructor. So I'm going to end this lecture now.